Hello, everyone. The new year is almost here. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. Thanks so much for joining us. We start tonight with a weather impact alert as people are getting ready to ring in the new year.
Yeah, we have live team coverage tonight. ABC10's Austin Castro is in Old Sacramento for a wet New Year's Eve celebration.
Yeah, meteorologist Brendan Minchef is here with the rundown of the weather you can expect while celebrating.
Yeah, let's take a look, though, first at downtown Sacramento. Just look, you can see the water kind of on the lens there. The rain has already started in the valley. And Brendan, I understand much more of that is on the way, huh?
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be a busy end to 2025 and a start to the new year.
Yeah, we've only got 6.5 hours left, and I think all of it is going to be rainy. So, yeah,
Wow.
We've seen the last of the dry weather for this year. We'll have to wait until next year for the weather to dry out. Thankfully, it's not that long. But yeah, we definitely have some more rain on the way. I expect over the next several days up to about 3 inches in parts of the valley. But we also have snow coming too, and we could see up to 3 feet of snow in the high country through Sunday. So weather impact alert now in effect through Sunday. Valley rain, Sierra snow, like we just talked about. Consider those holiday plans. It is soggy outside tonight, but if you're going to be out and about tomorrow, we're going to have some more off and on rain in the valley and in the Sierra. And there's a slim chance for a thunderstorm in parts of the valley tomorrow as well. So just something to keep in mind. This system has been working its way in over the last 24 hours, hit Southern California first, and then working its way up here to Northern California. And we now have rain across our region. This is not heavy rain. There are pockets of more moderate to heavy rainfall out there, and there will be as we head towards midnight. But the vast majority of this is just kind of a light, drizzly, yet still pretty steady rain out there. So if you're out and about for New Year's Eve, you are going to get wet. So bring the rain jacket, maybe the umbrella, the rain boots, whatever you may need to stay dry, but also to stay warm. It's a little bit chilly out there. Over the last 24 hours, it's not been much. A lot of this has fallen, honestly, over the last 6 to 8 hours across Northern California, but it's only been a few hundredths of an inch out there. So again, this is not a really heavy rain. It's just enough to get things soggy for the end of this year. As we look at Futurecast over the next few hours, this is now midnight. Again, those yellow colors, that's that pocket, those pockets of more moderate to heavy rainfall that I was talking about. But the vast majority of us are not seeing that through the rest of this year and the first few hours of next year. We may see a little bit of a pause through the overnight, but then we're going to get some more rain coming through by the time we get after sunrise tomorrow. So this is not the end of the rain. This is only the beginning. But like I said a minute ago, make sure you are warm too, because we are in the 40s and we're going to stay in the 40s through the next several hours. And we're going to start off tomorrow morning in those 40s as well. 48 right now as we look towards downtown Sacramento. We'll stay in those 40s to about 50 degrees as we work towards midnight. There you go. There's next year just around the corner, and it's going to start off rainy as well. Rain through the overnight, 46 in Sacramento, 48 in Stockton, 47 Modesto. About freezing up in Truckee and South Lake Tahoe. Tomorrow afternoon, we're going to be in those upper 50s. So we're going to be about 10 degrees warmer tomorrow than where we've been today in the last couple of days. But again, we're going to have that off and on rain with us too. So just keep that in mind. Temperatures look better, but the weather won't necessarily be much more cooperative. Winter storm watch begins at 4 p.m. on Friday. That continues through 10 a.m. on Sunday. We'll be watching for that to either become a winter weather advisory or a winter storm warning. That will come at some point, one of those two things. No flood watches or advisories across the valley, but there are some out near Lake and Mendocino counties. There's also a wind advisory out along the immediate coast. All that begins on Friday, continuing through the weekend, as we're going to see round number 2 coming in. So there's actually 2 waves. There's this first one, which we saw moving south to north. That's what's impacting us tonight and into tomorrow. Friday will be a little bit of a break until we get into the evening, but then this next system comes in, bringing a lot of moisture with it, but also a lot of cold air. So that's when snow levels are really going to drop, and we'll see that here on Futurecast. So again, through the next several hours, we're going to continue with that light but steady rainfall, keeping things soggy to end the year and begin the next one. Tomorrow afternoon could see a few thunderstorms out there across parts of the valley, but it's a lot more scattered tomorrow, not as steady of a rain. So off and on tomorrow. By the time we get to Friday, here we go. Most of Friday is actually dry. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. It is mostly cloudy and yet dry, but there's that next round coming in. So Friday night, we're going to see some heavier rain, and as soon as that hits the Sierra, we are going to see those snow levels drop to about 6,000 feet. 1 to 3 inches of valley rain over the next 5 days is expected. It is a little bit of a large range there, and the only reason for that is some people are going to see potential thunderstorms. Some folks are going to have those heavier rain pockets move through, and that will lead to higher rainfall totals for some. Through Friday at lunchtime, just a dusting to maybe a couple inches at the passes, and then as we go into the weekend, we see that heavier snow starting to fall. One more thing, it's going to be breezy through tomorrow and through Friday. But as ahead of that next round that comes in late Friday into Saturday morning, that's when we're going to see those strongest wind gusts up to about 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. But it is not the 60-mile-per-hour winds that we had last week, so just keep that in mind. I'm talking about increasing winds, but not like what we had for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Over the next few days, it's all weather impact alert through Sunday with that rain and snow lingers into the start of next week, and even at the tail end of the 10-day here, I've got partly cloudy, but some models are showing we could be looking at another storm. So stay tuned to the weather.
Yeah, this weather impact alert, the timing, all of this. I mean, this weekend is also a big travel weekend, too. People returning home from the holidays, so much to track.
Yeah, and this weekend is not going to be smooth sailing. Rain in the valley, snow in the high country.
I just go back to those weeks that we had of just the Tule fog, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Not a
my
raindrop
goodness.
at all, no snow
Yeah.
whatsoever.
When we didn't have holiday plans.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Mother Nature has a sense of humor, huh?
I
Okay.
suppose she does.
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, happening now, Old Sacramento is hosting the Countdown on the Cobblestones event.
Yep, Sacramento police say they are stepping up patrols, while organizers say the event is moving forward, rain or dry. And that's where we find ABC10's Austin Castro. He is live in Old Sacramento where the festivities are getting underway. And Austin, it looks like the weather isn't slowing things down.
Yeah, Chris and Laura, happy New Year's Eve to you. Despite the wet weather, we're still seeing a decent amount of people making their way to Old Sacramento. We got the live band right behind us, the festivities underway, getting underway about 30 minutes ago. And of course, at 9 p.m. tonight, the countdown and the fireworks still scheduled to happen, rain or shine. Now, Sacramento police emphasize, again, safety is top of mind, and that with all of the pedestrian and vehicle traffic throughout this area and also downtown, it's important to plan ahead, never drink and drive, and to also be patient. This year, the Old Sac festivities won't extend all the way until midnight, instead ending by 10 p.m. Organizers are hoping the earlier time will lead to a more family-friendly atmosphere. Now, as for the wet weather we've been seeing, people I spoke with earlier today say they are not letting it put a damper on their plans tonight.
We've had a little rough year this year, and we just thought we needed to get away and bring in the new year. So we've got our son and daughter-in-law and grandson coming, and we're going to have lunch here and take it from there.
And businesses like Last Stop Saloon at New Year's Eve is typically one of their busiest days, and the earlier festivities actually help drive people to their bar. And back out here live, the festivities again just getting underway, but we're seeing quite a few people making the most out of the event happening here. Now, if you do want to get in on the fun yourself, we have all of the information on parking as well as road closures over on our website. That's ABC10.com. Live in Old Sacramento, Austin Castro, ABC10.
Now, Austin, that is great advice. And I also will add that if you are driving, give yourself some extra time and really be safe out there. Austin, thank you. Let's take you to Folsom now for a celebration on the ice. As the historic Folsom Ice Rink, at the historic Folsom Ice Rink, people are celebrating day and night with dancing and skating to live DJs and some really stunning ice performances. Tonight at 8 p.m., they're ringing in the new year a little early with a ball drop party. Despite the rain, people of all ages say they're pushing through.
We normally go ice skating just about every year, but this year we went Sunday, but it got canceled, so we decided to come back here today. I don't think it'll be much of a challenge because it's like barely sprinkling.
Let's turn now to a celebration at the Pitch and Fiddle Pub in Fair Oaks. Yeah, look at that. They brought in the new year with a toast at 4 p.m. Why? Because that's when midnight strikes in Ireland.
It's a really nice touch back to my own family. My grandfather came over from Ireland, as many people have, and so it's a really nice touch back to my heritage and my traditions.
Yeah, ABC10's Mark S. Allen joined in on the fun, which included professional dancers, bagpipes, as you heard, and much more.
And we also want to show you a live look at Times Square in the heart of New York City, where thousands of people are gathering tonight. You see them right there, and millions more people around the world are going to be watching online or on TV.
Yeah, and as millions plan to ring in the new year, security is, of course, top of mind.
Yes, as ABC's Rena Roy explains, dozens of performers are also getting ready to hit the stage for New Year's Rockin' Eve, airing right here on ABC 10.
For millions around the globe, it's already 2026. Celebrations from the Great Wall in China with musical performances and light shows to Bangkok, Dubai, and Australia. And right here in the U.S., we are also gearing up to celebrate the new year. The biggest party, of course, in the heart of New York City's Times Square, the crossroads of the world.
Did you come all the way from South Korea to be here tonight? Yeah! You guys excited? Yeah!
Security is tight with the nation's largest police department putting every officer on the job tonight.
The public should expect to see thousands of NYPD officers deployed throughout Times Square and the surrounding area. That includes officers from our specialized units.
A ramped up police presence across the country, too, in places like Chicago and New Orleans, where the National Guard is out in force after that deadly car ramming attack during last year's celebrations that killed 14 people.
Officials say there are no credible or known threats at this time, but according to a law enforcement assessment obtained by ABC News, New York remains an aspirational target. In Times Square, Rena Roy, ABC News.
And as you just saw, it's already the new year in many places across the globe.
Yeah, it's so neat to see. Stay with us for more of those celebrations around the world later in this newscast.
Yeah, and coming up, the new year also means new laws, including some new rules of the road. ABC 10 political reporter Jenny Huh is standing by. I'm looking at her right now. She's going to be here in just a moment to tell you what you need to know. Well, don't forget, hundreds of new laws are set to take effect this Thursday, January 1st, including those regulating the rules of the road.
ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh joins us now with an explanation of what drivers should keep in mind as they head into the new year. Jenny, there's a lot to track here, so let's start with telling us about the new law that would expand the existing slow down, move over law.
Thanks for having me on again. Like you said, that's the existing law. So not just in California, but nationwide, we do have a slow down, move over law, which basically says when you see emergency vehicles like first responders or roadside construction crews with their lights flashing and they're on the side of the road, you either slow down as you pass by them or you move lanes so that you don't hurt them, right? So it's all in the name of protection. Now, stats show that California actually ranks second in the nation for deaths outside disabled vehicles. So again, on the side of the road on those highways. That's just behind Texas, and this death toll has risen since 2013. So now lawmakers took matters into their own hands, and they said, look, let's expand this law to the day-to-day Californian, to day-to-day drivers like you and me, so that if they're ever in a situation where their car gets stuck or they need to pull over onto the side, they too are offered the same protections, and we hopefully reduce that death toll a bit, keep it safer on our freeways. And so this is punishable by up to a $1,000 fine. And AAA advises that if you are ever stuck in a situation like this, you move over as far to the side as possible, away from the highway traffic, and you stay in your car until a tow truck or other relief comes your way.
My mother had a similar situation where she was on the side of the road on the highway, had to wait for police to show up. It can be very scary if cars are going by that fast. You know, I've done a lot of stories with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and every year they're pushing for tougher penalties when it comes to drunk driving. I understand there is also a new law related to drunk drivers this year.
And so this is related to whether or not you commit manslaughter when you are driving under the influence. So under current law, if you don't commit manslaughter while driving under the influence, you can be sentenced to 3 to 5 years probation. However, if you commit manslaughter while driving drunk, as part of your sentencing, there's a 2-year probation. And so a lawmaker said, wait, if you don't commit manslaughter but probation is 3 to 5, why is it that probation is only 2 if you commit manslaughter? Again, that's on top of the sentencing. So he tried to fix what he called a loophole, and he said, okay, we're now going to up that probation, again, in addition to your sentencing, to 3 to 5 years. So that is what that new law is about when it comes to drunk driving.
Makes a lot of sense. So it seems like these new laws are really examining some and closing the loopholes, right?
Exactly.
Closing some of those gaps there to make everyone a little bit more safe. And we want to dive in a little bit more about timing as well. You looked into a law that was just passed during the last session, but it won't take effect until, what, 2031?
Right, so quite a ways out. The other 2 laws we talked about do take effect starting this Thursday in the new year, but this one, 2031, it regulates speed in school zones. So very simply put, it lowers the speed limit in school zones to 20 miles an hour. The reason it's not going to take effect until 2031 is to give local jurisdictions ample time to implement that once January 1st, 2031 strikes. And that's not mandated automatically, 25 miles to 20 miles in school zones where proper signage is posted. So I guess we'll have to track that for the coming, how many years, 6, 7 years?
We know you'll be on top of all of it. We definitely appreciate having you in studio here explaining a lot of the new laws that are taking effect. And some of them have some pretty hefty fines too, so keep them all in mind.
Right.
Jenny, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And with the new year comes new California state laws. ABC10's To The Point team is breaking down some of the biggest changes, from plastic bag bans to new immigration rules and changes at public schools. What you need to know heading into the new year. Don't miss New Year, New Laws, a To The Point special streaming now right here on the ABC10 app.
And next at 5:30, the National Guard deployment here in California is coming to an end. The latest from the Trump administration.
Plus, the Trump administration dropping federal child care funding in all states. The details next.
Welcome back. Today, California Attorney General Rob Bonta announced the Trump administration is backing down on efforts to extend the federalization of the National Guard, putting them back under state control. The decision allows an order from the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California to take full effect, returning command of the Guard to the governor. National Guard troops have been deployed in and around L.A. since June, but that deployment was ordered to end earlier this month by the U.S. Court of Appeals. In a social media post from Governor Gavin Newsom's press office, they say, quote, "We've long known the federalization of the California National Guard is illegal. This admission by Trump and his occult cabinet members means this illegal intimidation tactic will finally come to an end."
The Trump administration is freezing federal child care funding to all states, according to an official for the Department of Health and Human Services. This comes as the Department of Homeland Security deepens its investigation into alleged fraud at Minnesota daycare and healthcare centers in Somali communities. The official tells ABC News funds will be released, quote, only when states prove they are being spent legitimately. The official did not provide details or more information about the proof the agency is requiring from states. We have reached out to Governor Newsom's press office, and we're waiting to hear back.
Well, the clock is ticking down to 2026, but it's already the new year in some places. See how other parts of the world celebrate it next. Coming up new tonight on the news at 6, fewer Americans filed for unemployment last week, a positive sign as 2025 comes to an end. But what does it mean for your wallet? Tonight, how changes in jobs, mortgage rates, and health care could impact you in 2026.
For now, let's take you live to Times Square in New York City, where thousands of people are gathering tonight for the iconic ball drop. The new year for us is only just hours away, but all around the world, it's already 2026.
I want to show you a look at how others are celebrating tonight if we can. We're told in Auckland, New Zealand. Look at that. They kick things off with a big fireworks show. It happened at the Sky City Auckland Hotel. Just look at the fireworks lighting up the night sky.
Oh, very, very cool. The fireworks are lighting up the Sydney Harbour Bridge in Australia as well. Look at that show. It is looking like that celebration was also packed, as it is every year. I love this display.
I understand we have one more show to show you. This one in Tokyo, Japan. Just stunning. Now, did you know, I didn't know this, the practice of ringing in the new year actually dates back to at least 2000 BC. The earliest known celebrations were in Mesopotamia, we're told.
Oh, so you're saying us humans, mere earthlings, have been celebrating and partying hard in the New Year's for centuries,
And you know,
for millennia?
we love to have a good time, Chuck. We love an excuse.
Right, we just got a little
to
more
have a good
high-tech over
time.
the years, right? So for some of the other history nerds out there, like myself, different cultures have used different dates over the millennia. For example, the early Romans used March 1st as their New Year's Day. How about that? While other cultures use the autumn equinox or the winter solstice. But either way, it's definitely feeling like winter for us here in Sacramento.
Indeed. Be safe out there, everyone. Thanks so very much for joining us on this New Year's Eve. You can watch us anytime, any day, right here on the ABC10 app.